There we go. I'm only using this microphone so people they're watching on Facebook and YouTube can hear me. Otherwise, you guys can hear me just fine. I was saying this is a typical piano concert where everyone's sitting behind me. So when I look this way, I don't think anyone's even here. But I'm used to that by now. I know you want to see my hands, and you can only see them from this way. So, well, thanks for coming out, and people watching online as well. This is a CD release concert for my newest album called REFUGE, which is being released on Friday. But there's 2 songs out right now that you can listen to. And it's if you want some physical CDs today, I got 2 albums in one. So I recorded 20 tracks this spring for 2 albums, but I figured, I'll put them all on one album. So if you get the physical album, you're able to hear 10 songs that won't be released until later this summer. So you can be a special club. So I'm going to play the album pretty much straight down, which I've never actually done. I've never actually played the whole album in the order that I put it. So this will be kind of fun. This first song is one of the singles that's out right now. It's called Little Ditty. It's a song, when I was writing these tracks, I had about 12 or 13 songs that I had finished over the last 3 years or so. And I was like, well, I might as well keep writing. I might as well get 20 songs. And so I think it was the night before one of the recording sessions, I was like, let's write just a little simple song. And I just temporarily called it Little Ditty. And that name just kind of stuck with it. It's not about Jack and Diane, but it's just about me. So this is just it's just a little ditty. So there's not much meaning behind this, but it's just a little song that I wrote probably in about 10 minutes, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much. Thank you. There we go. Hey, we're multiplying in people. I like that. If you're wondering what this piece of paper is here, this is the first time I actually tried to get reviews of my music, and Kathy Parsons over at Mainly Piano gave me it was a really nice review. And some of the imagery that she heard in this music, I thought I would maybe share with you, because I thought she did a very nice job of writing this. So this next one is called Fall Colors, and I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. I'm a big fan of the fall season, even though it's way too short. But I just love when the leaves change colors, especially the orange trees. One of my albums out there, Scenes from a Film Unknown, has an orange tree. And so I like orange leaves. So this one's kind of written with that in mind, thinking about the leaves changing colors and the change of seasons. But I'm going to read what she wrote about this one, too. It seems to reflect on the beauty of autumn colors mixed with a touch of sadness at the change of seasons and the coming of winter. I thought that was a very nice way to put it. Because fall is, it's a very nice season, but then you're like, oh crap, the winter's coming. So you just savor that little bit. And this song, I challenged myself a little on this song. For this album, I decided that I wanted to write sheet music for all of it, because I get a lot of requests for sheet music, and I figured this time I'd just, do it right away, write sheet music for all of this. And so doing that, I kind of challenged myself, because usually when I write stuff, I don't usually write sheet music out right away. And I start doing the same old things, like my left hand does the same patterns that it usually does. So this one I challenged myself to actually write kind of a left-hand part and write stuff that I wouldn't usually make up just improvising on the piano. So this one is called Fall Colors. Thank you very much. Thank you. And I'd be interested too, after the concert's over, if you have specific images popped into your head, or if you have a favorite song of these ones. I'm always interested to know that. So feel free after the show if you want to let me know what your favorites were and if I named some of these the wrong title. I'm not very good at naming songs. It's not one of my fortes. I'm trying to get better. My wife's a lot better at naming pieces. But for this one, some of these songs I just gave like kind of temporary names, and then I got so used to the names I just kept them. So a lot of these I was like, when I wrote the title, I'm like, that's not going to be the title. And eventually you're just like, well, for me that is, because I've written it down so many times. The next one is called Bells, because it's about bells. This one actually, so I get inspiration from a lot of different areas. Sometimes I write songs based on, like the last one, thinking about the fall colors and certain images. This next one, I should say, was written without trying to write a piece. So I believe this next one I was playing right over here. It was for, I think it was for like a Good Friday service, and the beginning of the service was supposed to be kind of very quiet, meditative music. And so I just wrote this little melody. And luckily, since we live stream everything now, I was able to go back that night and listen back to it to remember what I'd written. But this one kind of was, just kind of spur of the moment, and it's a melody that stuck with me. I want to see what Kathy wrote about it, because, like I said, she has very nice descriptions. She says, Bells has a clear bell-like repeated pattern that runs throughout the piece with variations that keep it evolving as it progresses. So you'll hear at the beginning that the opening melody is kind of like meant to be played with bells. So it's kind of like a bell tone melody, and like she said, it will evolve and progress as the piece goes on. So without further ado, here's Bells. That one feels really good in a space like this, where you get this nice natural sounding room like that. This is I'm pretty lucky to be able to practice in this space. I come here sometimes even late at night just to practice, and I can't complain about playing on this piano and recording on this piano as well. This one I was lucky enough to record on a great Bosendorfer. Back there is Mr. Stephen C., who's kind of one of my mentors. He's a guy that's recorded lots and lots of great music over the years, and I've got to record some music for him. And for this album, he has a great Bosendorfer that's, I don't know, I don't even know how much money the thing costs. It's it's an amazing instrument. And so I asked him if I could record this album on the Bosendorfer, and luckily he said yes. So at that time, the Bosendorfer was in a mansion the oldest mansion on Summit Avenue. And so I got to record that in a historic mansion, and I couldn't complain about that. A wonderful piano to record on. And for this album, too, Stephen just started his new label, Stephen C. Music label. I don't know what the official name is. Stephen C. Music? He started a new label, and he asked me to be the first artist on it. So I'm pretty lucky. So it's, I can say I got a record deal now. So, hey, I'll take it. So this next one is the title track. It's called Refuge. And if you follow me on social media, you kind of know what this one's about. But the color of the album is actually the color Refuge, the Sherwin-Williams color called Refuge, the exact color. The story behind this one is my wife and my mother-in-law were painting our house, and they asked me if they could paint my studio. And I said, it was not a very good paint job before that, so I said yes. They said, what color do you want? I'm like, surprise me, like pick a nice warm color to paint it. And so they picked out this nice kind of bluish, I don't know, gray bluish color. I don't know how to describe the color, but the color is called Refuge. And I was very touched that they wanted to paint my studio. No one's ever done that for me before. I've always painted it myself, and it looked really bad. And so just the thought that someone would do that for you, and that family would do something like that for you, meant a lot. And the color was beautiful. So that night, I was kind of sitting in my studio, staring at this new color, and this melody came out, and it was pretty easy to name the tune because the paint color was called Refuge. So this became the name of the album and the kind of inspiration to finally put some of this music out. So, excuse me. Here's Refuge. This is the first single that I put out. So this one's actually online right now, and you can buy the sheet music for it as well. So here's Refuge. Thank you. So, I'm going to share at this point a kind of rather, I don't say humiliating story, but just to show that we all make mistakes. So when I decided, after I made these 2 albums, that I wanted to, release them at different times, make one CD that had both of them on there, because I don't sell a lot of CDs anymore because people don't have CD players, and so I wanted to save some money, so I was like, I'll put both of these CDs on one. And so I ordered them, and I got them like maybe three weeks ago. And for some reason, I didn't promote them and didn't try to sell them. I don't know why why I didn't, but I found out later. So I gave one to my mother-in-law, and she gave my wife a call and was like, "What's wrong with this album? Like, there's only 10 tracks. Like, do I need to like flip it over or something to like how to get the other 10 tracks?" I was like, "Well, that's the thing I want to hear, 10 days before the album, before my concert." And so I look on there, I'm like, maybe that CD was kind of messed up. But I look online, and I uploaded 10 tracks instead of 20. So, my hunch, there was something inside me that said, don't sell these yet. And that was the reason, because it was very false advertising. So luckily, I only ordered about 125 of those. So, those would be discounted at some point, or I'll give them away. But these ones, I ordered new ones and told them to ship it a little quicker. And these ones do have 20 tracks. I haven't checked for sure, but I did check, and I did upload. I checked where I uploaded them, and it said there was 20 tracks. I just don't have a CD player, so I can almost 99% I can say that there's 20 tracks on this album. So always make sure, if you're uploading 20 tracks, make sure they're actually 20 tracks that you put on there. You'd think that'd be common sense, but not all the time. Okay, on that note, we're gonna go to a tune that I kind of just wrote. This is actually a tune that I didn't write, so this is the only one that's not an original. It's a tune, "Oh Susanna." And originally, I wanted to kind of cover a little folk tune, and I originally called this piece "Piano on My Knee," because like the song "Oh Susanna," I came from Alabama with a banjo on my knee. But then I realized that didn't really make sense, so I just called it "Oh Susanna" now. But it's kind of my take on "Oh Susanna" as a more lyrical piece. And I thought this piece was just kind of a throwaway piece, but it turns out Steve Yeager, who is the one who mastered this whole album, I asked him what his favorite track was, and he said, "Oh Susanna." I was like, "Oh, really? Okay." And then I got this review, and her favorite track was also this "Oh Susanna." So I don't almost know what my best track is, I guess, because she said it was the most elegant version of "Oh Susanna" she's ever heard, and she's listened to lots of music. So, and she says the beautiful flowing. No, wait up. Here we go. "Oh Susanna" gives the song a thoughtful, contemporary makeover that makes it sound brand new. I should ask her for more reviews. That's very nice. She's great. You can go to mainlypiano.com. You can check out their review, and there's all sorts of. If you like piano music, you're gonna find some great piano music by searching that on that site. So this is a track that I kind of just thought was just a little arrangement, but turns out people like it. So I'm going to stop talking about it, and now I'm just going to play it. Thank you. Thank you. That's a great tune. My other favorite version of that song is James Taylor's version, which is completely different than that one is. But if you're a James Taylor fan, check out his version of that, which is totally different. I love when people just have totally different takes on music. And if you follow any of my social media channels, you realize that I like doing that same thing. I like taking a song and totally changing the style, which I think, hopefully the composer's all right with that. Who knows? There's a thing with classical music, with Western classical music, that you're supposed to play all the notes that the composer wrote, but I don't believe that. I think you can change it up, because as a composer myself, if people take my song and do something completely different with it, I'm like, that's kind of cool. So that's a discussion for another day, though. So we'll have one of those concerts where I take every classical song and just totally mess it up, and see how many people can get mad at me. Okay, we're gonna go on. I just realized this today, that the next 4 songs on the record all have to do with water. And I didn't realize that until today when I was looking at this album. This next song is called Streams. Then we have Rippling Water, then After the Rain. Well, actually, that's only 3. There's 3 songs in a row that are about water. And one of my other favorite tracks I've written a few albums ago was called Water. So I guess I like water, I guess. I'm gonna drink some water now, too. Sponsored by water. My biggest sponsorship yet. Okay, well, so this one's called Streams. This is another one that I wrote. I wrote this one actually at the airport. So if you don't know, I play every week at the airport. Actually, Heidi's back there. Heidi plays at the airport too, and Steven's mom plays at the airport. We have lots of airport connections here. I played there for almost 6 years now. I play there every week, and it's a fun gig because I'm kind of background music. As per se, because people are just passing through. But the nice thing about that is I can sometimes I use it as practice time or as composition time. So sometimes if I'm tired of playing the same old songs, I just start making up songs and see what comes out. And I also have my phone up there and I'm recording, and in case I come up with something nice. And this is one of those ideas that I had while I was working at the airport. And as I was there was no idea in my head of what I wanted to write. I just wanted, my fingers just wrote something. And then I thought it sounded like streams flowing. So I'd be interested with this one. After I play this one, if you have any ideas of what this one sounds like, I'd be interested to hear that. So here's Streams, or whatever title you guys come up with. Thank you. Thank you. Anything that you guys would call that song? Any images that popped in your head? What do you got, Mike? Oh. Good. Bursting what? Hope. Oh. Oh, I like that. That's really nice. What about you, Mike? 3-day weekend. I like those. He said 3-day weekend. Everyone loves those. Anyone else have anything that came strongly to mind? Joyful anticipation. Nice. Lots of joy. 3-day weekend is also joyful, so hey. And streams are joyful, so hey, we got 4 names there. And maybe I'll start releasing the song every week with a different title. I think I'd be plagiarizing. I think I'd be violating copyright law myself or something. I don't know. I don't know how that works. Okay, well, we're through 6 of the 10 songs. We got 4 more today. We got another rain song. This one is called "Rippling Water." If you follow my TikTok or Instagram, I uploaded a video today with the song, and I was trying to play it on the iPad, the piano on the iPad. You can check that out later. The story is I was playing a wedding this last weekend where they asked me to play piano for the ceremony. This says outdoors, and they said, we're going to bring a piano. And I said, okay, that sounds good. So I got to the wedding, and I say, okay, where's the ceremony site? They said, it's out there. I'm like, okay, is there power out there? They're like, no. I'm like, oh, no one told me that. Okay, that's could be an issue. But I said, well, you're bringing the piano, right? They're like, oh, no, that was never confirmed. And I look at my email and said, well, yeah, I have an email from last month that says, yes, we're bringing a piano, and we're getting it tuned. And so, well, we don't have a piano. They're like, do you have a battery-operated keyboard in your car? I'm like, I don't walk around with one of those, so... luckily I had a violinist with me, and so we knew that she could play, acoustically, but she didn't want to play by herself the whole time. So we said, what can we do? So they had a Bluetooth speaker there that was battery powered, and I had my iPad there, and I remember that one time I had tried to play the little. If you open GarageBand on the iPad, there's a little, you can play a little piano on the screen. And I said, well, I can connect my iPad to the Bluetooth on the speaker and play that way. And I tried it out. The problem, there was a little bit of a lag. So you play a key, and then like a split second later, you hear the note, which is really, it doesn't sound like a big deal, but it's very trippy when you're trying to play. And especially when you're trying to play with someone else. But we give it a try. So I was playing literally like 3 notes on the piano, just little 3-note patterns. And, no one complained, so, which is good. I was very worried. It was probably the most nervous I've been for a wedding because I couldn't look. Usually when I'm playing, I can look up. I'll look to see where the bride and the groom are, make sure I'm following all the prompts. And every time I tried to look up, I'd miss a key because, you have nothing to touch. There's no touch response. So I was literally just staring. I had the iPad on my leg, and I was going like this the whole time. I felt very strange. The funny thing was the videographer when they're doing the recessional, he took just a little video of us playing and me playing the iPad piano. So I said, can you send that to me? So he did. And just for fun, I posted it to TikTok. And TikTok's a very I post a lot of videos there, and they get 200, 300 views. And the last time I checked, this one's at 700,000. So I was like, of course, the video of me playing an iPad piano is the one that everyone's watching. And there's very interesting debates going on in the comment section of some people thought the bride should get a refund and some people said, well, that was the most ingenious thing I've ever seen. So if you want some entertainment, just go to my TikTok and check out the video of that. It was probably the most odd ceremony I've ever played. Well, the other weird thing of that ceremony too, they wanted this Catholic song called "Hail Mary, Gentle Woman," and I'm not Catholic, and I don't really know any Catholic songs, but I told them, for some reason, I would sing it. And so I learned it a couple days before, and we get there, I'm like, well, what are we going to do now? Like, there's no microphone, and there's no piano. So Kara, the violinist, she did some kind of accompaniment on the violin. But we started the song too fast, so it almost sounded like a jig. It was very interesting. And I had the music here, and I was just like singing as loud as I could in this outdoor ceremony. It was, yeah. It actually is kind of fun to sing without a piano and accompanied by a fiddle. So anyways, that's all to say that you never know what's going to happen. Always have an iPad with you. You never know when you're going to need it. That story has nothing to do with this next song, except that I made a video about it today. So this song is called Rippling Water. This one was inspired. I wrote this. I had the title for the song before I wrote the song. So I was at my family's lake cabin. Oh, wow, I'm just staring straight into the sun. That's painful. That's all right. Can anyone see my face, or am I just like I'm just an angel. I'll take it. So this song, it was inspired when I was kayaking. I love to kayak, and it was a very calm day in the lake, and I was just paddling, and I was noticing, the ripples as you paddle, and then you see as it goes along, the ripples get bigger and more and slower. And I was just kind of entranced by them. I was kind of mesmerized by the rippling water. And so I wrote the song to reflect what I thought rippling water would sound like. So here we go. Thank you. Thank you. Ooh. Wilson says, rippling water is perhaps a gentle breeze over the surface of a pond or a sunset over the ocean. Such nice imagery. Okay, this next one is our last song about water. If you're getting tired of songs about water, I'm sorry, but like I said, I just like water. It's very nice. It's essential for life. So this next song is called After the Rain. So I bet you can't guess what this song is about. This song, I think, was written the same day that I wrote Rippling Water. It was later after that it rained, and then I went kayaking after the rain. I should write a song called Kayaking, because that's It seems like all I do. And I just love going outside after the rain. You know, the air is so fresh. You got that smell of fresh rain. Everything is, you know the feeling of rain after the rain. So it's something that sounds really good right now. Going outside is not pleasant. So I'm glad the air conditioning works in here. That's very appreciated. So yeah, this is a little more up-tempo song, and reflects just the beauty of going outside after it's rained. Thank you very much. Thank you. Such a happy little song. There was one thing in this review that is actually my favorite line from this review that really, I've never met her, only met her online via email, but it's impressive when someone can nail something perfectly. And one of the lines she says, Nate plays with the easy confidence and grace of someone who probably feels the most comfortable when seated with a piano keyboard at the ends of his fingertips. And for anyone that knows me, that's very true. I was a very shy kid. There was a girl from high school that I saw like maybe 10 years ago, and she was like, "Yeah, I thought you were afraid of girls," because I didn't talk to anyone. Yeah, I didn't talk. I didn't, I avoided choir. I played in band, but I was a very shy kid, and the piano is really where I've always felt most comfortable. And so it was kind of just a given that was what I was going to make my career was playing piano, because there's nothing else that I thought that I could do very well. So. And everything else sounded kind of boring to me. So luckily it worked out. And there's a photo of me when I was about maybe a year old trying to play the piano. So yeah, And we got a little one on the way now. So we'll see if our little ones can be a piano player. We won't force it, but I'm more hoping that the baby is like a drummer or a bass player, guitar player. I want to form a family band, monetize our kids. I'm sure Kelly was very happy about that. Look, I can't see her face. All I see is a bright light. Yes. I'm not going to try to monetize our kids, don't worry. I'll let them choose what makes them happy. But I do want to have a family band, so we might need some more kids. 8, 9, 10 kids. I'm sure she'll be very happy about that. I'm just kidding. We'll have a very small family band. Anyways, enough talk about family bands. I'm just telling you all my hopes and dreams right now. We got 2 more songs here. This next one, so I didn't tell her anything about these songs. She just kind of, listened and reviewed them. And for most of these, they're pretty self-explanatory, like rippling water after the rain. But for this next one, it's called Rising Up from the Valley. Very long title. And she says, I don't know what the title Rising Up from the Valley refers to, but the piece is dreamy and a lovely musical expression of tranquility. I just love the line, I don't know what it's about, but this one I wrote in January 2020. So if you can remember those days, there was no pandemic at that time. So I remember flying through I was flying to Palm Springs for a gig I had. It was January 2020, and I was in San Francisco airport, and I saw people some people wearing masks. I was like, why are they wearing these masks? Like, that's just weird. What's that all about? I'm like, I've heard of some virus, and that's over in China. I'm like, it's not going to come here. So I don't know what everyone's whether Well, 2 months later, I realized that was actually a thing. So, but it's interesting to think about those times, right? Traveling before all that happened. But this one, I was in Palm Springs, and we had a lot of time off at that gig, so I brought a keyboard up to my room, and I was kind of overlooking this little mountain range and this valley in the Palm Springs desert, and it was really kind of inspired me to write some music. And so this was kind of written about this valley that I saw amongst the mountains, and I just imagined something, the sun kind of rising up from the valley and over the sky. So, anyways, this was called "Rising Up from the Valley." Thank you. Thank you. Look at that. We're at 7:59. I was planning an hour concert. I'm almost exactly on schedule. Totally unplanned. So I knew that the music was 35 minutes of music, and apparently we have 25 minutes of talking. So hopefully you're not getting tired of me talking. If you are, well, it's too bad. I know I said I was a shy kid, but once you get me talking, it's hard to get me to talk. But once you get me talking, then it just game over. So anyways, what am I going to say? So these albums, if you want a physical CD, and if you're watching online too, these are available. I think they're on my website. They're at least on Bandcamp. So if you search on Bandcamp, you can find all this. And if you want digital copies, search on Bandcamp. Search for my name and you'll find this. But if you want these CDs, so there's 20 songs, 10 of which you have heard tonight and 10 which you won't, but you'll hear on the CD. So these are $20 since they're 20 songs. And if you want any of my other CDs, I know a lot of you have the other ones, but if you want those are $10 each. And I didn't get a chance to play my Pineapple on Pizza song, but you can look that up online. If you want a t-shirt of my Pineapple on Pizza t-shirts out there, those are also $10. So everything is $10 except for this album is $20. So simple pricing. And pretty soon, I'm working on finishing the sheet music for all of this, and that will be coming out soon. So the sheet music will have all 10 of these songs in both advanced levels and intermediate levels. So there's 2 different levels available on those. You can find the Refuge music online already, and the music for Little Ditty is actually free on my website. So if you go to my website and go to the sheet music tab, you can find actually lots of free sheet music on there, and also sheet music for sale. So if you're a pianist, be sure to check that out. You'll find some interesting things on there. And what else? I think that's pretty much it. So thanks again for coming out. It's nice to have people here, and I know there's people watching online as well, and people that couldn't make it because it's also really hot. Man, can't believe how hot it is here. But yeah, thanks for coming for the air conditioning, and thank you, church, for having air conditioning. Otherwise, this would be pretty miserable. Okay, that's where I'm going to stop talking soon here. Last song is called Strolling. That's another song that I wrote when I needed like 3 more tunes for the album because I wanted to have 20. And yeah, so this one is a little different than the rest. It's a little more jazzy. And if you know me, I love playing jazz music. So this is a little more jazz inspired, and I thought this was kind of signified, just kind of strolling, having a nice, nice afternoon walk, on a 3-day weekend or whatever. So yeah, here's a nice little happy song to end our evening here. So here's Strolling. Thank you very much. You guys want to hear one more? Is that a sitting ovation? I got a sitting ovation. I'm just kidding. I don't need a standing ovation. I figured I'd play one more song for you because I figured we need a little ragtime to end our evening. If you know me, you know I love playing ragtime music. And before I forget, there's some treats out there. Mary Richter made some pumpkin cupcakes with cream cheese frosting. She did not even know that that's my favorite kind of cake. So she said, I'm going to bring some pumpkin cupcakes with cream cheese frosting. I said, that's the birthday cake I get every year. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for that. So I won't play one short song so you can enjoy those. And I usually make cookies, but we just listed our house today, so I didn't have any time to cook. So Festival Foods did some cookie baking for me. So if you need some cookies, there's Festival was my baker today. So anyway, stay after and chat and make some new friends and eat some food and all of the good stuff. So this will be our little encore. This is a song I wrote a few years ago. It's my last album. It's called End Credits Rag. So this is a ragtime piece that I thought would sound good at the end credits of one of those old black and white silent movies. So here's our final song. Thank you very much. Thanks for coming. We'll see you next time.